year they just got really hot from three. I think right now
Hmm.
they're relying on the three way too much. Like it's it's that saying, live by the sword, die by the sword, live by the
Yeah,
three, die by the three. And I think they're
yeah.
just not hitting their 3-point shots because defensively they're still pretty good defensively.
Hmm.
Offensively, it's just they're not efficient from three right now. Outside of
Yeah.
like Sam Hauser or whatever his name is, and like maybe Peyton
Hmm.
Pritchard, you're starting
Hmm.
five guys from three. They're not shooting the ball well, and
Yeah.
you would think, okay, we're not shooting the ball well from three. Let's kind of regress. No, no, they're still putting it up. They fall in love with the three ball, bro. And
Hmm.
this is
Yeah.
this is where some fans are like, the game is going a certain way because these guys are not hitting their threes and they're still shooting
That's
them.
what happens.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say? And like they're losing. They're in this last stretch. I think since like December 1st or something like that, they're playing like a playing team in the East.
Mm.
Like there's six
Yeah.
teams better than record wise that like they'd be in the plane right now. You know
Hmm.
what I'm trying to say? So they got to figure out something. But at the same time, too, bro, they won the championship last year. They played the most basketball. Well, them and the Mavericks have played the most basketball in the last
Yeah.
year or so. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's just a little bump in the road. I don't like. I'm not gonna be too worried about them, but at the same time, too, we gotta watch that shooting because if they're not hitting their shots, they're not winning no NBA championship again this year. That's a fact.
Yeah. This is kind of how I see it. I understand the
Uh
whole
oh.
logic, behind the 3 point, 2 point comparison. When you shoot more threes, more points, whatever, right? Makes sense, and you have the personnel for it. Have long players, 6'5", 6'8", 6'9", can shoot three and D kind of players, pass the ball kind of thing. It's it's great. It works, and then as everything kind of catches on to it, it's almost like teams are kind of catching. And obviously, like you live by it and die by it as well, right? Like obviously, it's a harder shot when it's anticipated more because they know you're looking to shoot 45, 53s a game. They play to it more. It
True.
doesn't have to be a huge difference, but as long as that needle goes from 42% to 35%,
Hmm.
you start losing games.
Facts. Facts.
So and it reminds me of like the Houston Rockets when they lost and missed 27 3-pointers in a row, and that was like it's almost like gambling. Like when you're doing it like blindly, it's gambling. Boston and Houston are just playing statistics because they're gambling. They say we're gonna shoot 50. We have the guys with the percentages. We're gonna hit X amount. We should hit X amount. Okay, some games you will, some games you won't. That's a variance in any mathematical strategy that you try to go after. What made Golden State different was that they still did that, but they weren't gambling, they were playing chess. They're like, okay, if you take this away, we are very confident in going for that two where Draymond rolls and you think Clay is going this way and Draymond's by himself rolling to the key and we're getting dunks. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Facts.
It was always like there was always like three options. And like they never stuck on option one. Like so you have to be able to like, confidently flirt with all of them. So you're playing like Magic Door. What are we gonna do this turn? That's how you
Yeah.
drive them crazy. When you know that they're gonna like manufacture 53s, you only have to change 5% of your defensive scheme for them to miss 7% of the shots
Right.
realistically. So like I think they're looking at it from too much of a statistical way of analytical way, right? Like you gotta be a little bit more human in it if
Mhm.
you're gonna
Yeah,
play
but
like
they
that.
yeah, but they won a championship, right? If they win a championship, it's kind of easier to say this to them and be like, "Yo,
Yeah.
maybe we shouldn't do that." But they won a championship. They're fresh off a chip, and like how they're playing right now is what won that chip. So I don't know how you kind of go back without maybe a different coaching change. And I'm not saying get rid of Joe Mazzulla. I'm just saying like
Yeah.
his ideology is already imprinted in that locker room where we're gonna shoot 53s a game. And I saw something where it says I saw a stat, so I don't know if I'm saying it correctly because I still don't understand it 100%, but they said something like you only have to hit 33% of your threes to equal 50
To equal
percent of your
50% of
twos
your
or
Yep.
something like that. Again,
Yeah,
again,
that's the
I'm still
math
trying.
on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still trying to understand
Yeah.
that. But so to them, it's like okay, we know we can hit an X amount of threes. So if it takes us to shoot 100 threes to hit 33% and we win, then we're gonna do it. If that's
Mhm.
making sense. Like, I don't know if that's making sense. But
Yeah.
so I think that's their thing. So I don't know. This might just be a little bump in the road because I think this slump has only lasted about a month and a half, right?
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
still a small sample size of the season. They still are what, second in the East, third in the NBA. So I
Yeah,
mean, it's
nothing to be concerned about,
it's not, yeah, it's not
right?
something to be crazy about,
Yeah,
but like you're right. These little things though could be the difference of you advancing to the next round, winning an NBA championship, or just being better
yeah.
than your opponent or whatever.
Yeah, and realistically, like I think, yes, they won, but it's almost like I said, like if it's manufactured, it's like you're doing a coin toss. Yeah, you won, you got heads this time, you might get tails this year. Like
Fair enough.
you
Yeah.
kind of want to take away the other team's edge, and you want to keep them like you like they're on guard for what they know you're gonna shoot that many threes, right? Like you only have 110, 120 possessions per game. You're gonna shoot half of them as threes, so like you gotta mix it up a bit and
But but but
be
like
too brainy with it.
But like going back to your gambling analogy though, right? But what happens usually, like if a man wins, 10K off of a slot machine, right? What is he gonna
Hmm.
do? He's gonna go back to that slot machine. He's gonna go back to that slot machine and put all his money.
Yeah.
If if a man's playing blackjack and he's sitting in a certain spot and that's where he won like 5 G's, best believe he's
He's
going back to the
going
same
right back.
table, same spot, with the same dealer, bro. He's gonna find out when the dealer's working. You know what I'm trying to say? So I understand what you're saying, but like typically human, like that is human. Like when something works, you're like, do it
Yeah.
again because it worked before. You know what I'm
True.
trying to say?
True. True.
I think
True.
I think it's harder for humans to adapt to a different
Yeah.
system to
Yeah.
kind of to be successful. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, for sure. It is. It is hard. It is hard. And yeah, like you're ingrained in it almost, right? Like you do it all the time. It's kind of hard to change that now, right? So fair enough.